Welcome to our new topic today. We have here present and future value at compound interest. Okay, what is compound interest? So according to our definition here, compound interest is the interest on a deposit or loan calculated based on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest from previous periods. So in other terms, compound interest, or in other words, compound interest, this is calculated on both the original amount or the principal and the interest that has already been added from previous periods. In other words, it means earning interest on interest. So this makes your money grow faster than with simple interest, because each time interest is added, it becomes part of the new principal for the next period. We are using formula here for compound interest formula. We have here A is equal to P times 1 plus R divided by M to the power of MT. A here represents the amount of money accumulated after M periods, including interest. P here, this is the principal amount or the initial amount of money. R here, this one, it is the annual interest rate. We're going to write this one in decimal form. And then T here is the time the money is invested or borrowed for in years. Take note, it should be in years. So if monthly siya or daily from our previous, again, you know what to do. And M here represents the number of interest period for 1 year. This is the compounded conversion. Okay, so we have here our compounding conversion periods of M. Remember, M here, we have compounded conversion. If the problem says compounded monthly, the value of our M is 12. Okay, if it's compounded bi-monthly, the value of our M is 6. Take note of that. If it's compounded quarterly, this one, the value of our M is 4. It means quarterly means every 3 months. If it's compounded semi-annually, you should write in the value of our M 2. And annually is 1. Remember this one, again, it is given in our problem. State siya sa problem. It's either compounded monthly, compounded bi-monthly, compounded quarterly, semi-annually, or annually. So we have here our conversion. Just remember this one. If we're going to apply compound interest in real-life applications, we have here 3 examples of it. Number 1 is saving accounts. When you deposit money, this one, when you deposit money in saving account, the bank pays you interest on your balance. So if it's compounded monthly or quarterly, your money grows faster because you earn interest on your previous interest. So pag mag-save ka, na ay tubo sa imong interest, and diha ma-apply si compound interest. We also have here loans and credit cards. So compound interest also works against you when you borrow money. So ang interest ana pag mangutang ka magkadako diha ma-apply si compound interest. Okay, and we also have here investments in retirement funds. So in investments like mutual funds, stocks, or retirement plans, for example, SSS, Pag-ibig funds, returns are invested. That's compound interest at work. So, di ba maghulog ka sa SSS or Pag-ibig, pag mag-retire na ka someday, mas nidadako ang imong money na imong gi-invest, mas nidaghan, mas nidako. So, at the end of your retirement or mag-retire na ka, ma-enjoy na nimo ang na invest ng money nga ni grow sa imong file. Okay? Let's have an example in computing compound interest. Let's have your example number 1. Let's read this one. Maria deposited 10,000 in a savings account that earns 5% annual interest compounded yearly. How much money will she have after 3 years? We're going to use compound interest here. A formula ni compound interest because of this one. May pambabasaan na. Pwede magamit ang formula ni compound interest. We're going to recall the formula of it. We have A represent sa amount. Pangitaon na to. Is equal to P times 1 plus R over M to the power of MT. Some of the books or some of the research, when it comes to formula of it, ang uban N ni siya N. Or N na siya. Pwede ra. Pwede ra po na M. Again, depende na sa unsang gi-represent na. Okay? Kaning M ha, mo na siya nag-represent sa imong i-compound. Again, remember those value nga ang imong i-compound. Okay? So if we're going to get the values of each of each here based ato ang formula, value ni P, that's the principal, that is 10,000 pesos. Value ni R is the rate. Ang iyahang percentage nga butang, we have 5%. 5% there. If we're going to we write that one in decimal form. 5%. Wait. Oops. 5% or 0.05. Next one, M. M there, nag-represent sa value sa imong i-compound. Compounded yearly. If we're going to recall, ang katong mga value, yearly is 1. Okay, naman ito yung monthly, compounded semi-annually, compounded bi-monthly, compounded annually, compounded yearly. Yearly is annual man na. Year, 1. Annual ang year. So, 1 na siya. Okay? How much money will she have after 3 years? So, the time there, nag-represent sa years. 3 years. Remember, if ang ato ang time, again, if mo go back ta sa simple interest, pag ang time na given diri example, 10 months, again, divide sa 12 ay butang sa time. Okay? Years man na, so wala problema. So, kompleto na nga itong values, pwede na na ito i-input sa itong formula. So, we have here, ang value ni P is 10,000 pesos. 10,000, open parenthesis, 1, plus value ni R is 0.05, divide 1. To the power of M is 1, and then times empty man ang ibabaw. Power na ha, dili sa kilid. If ato siyang manumanuhon og solve isa-isa. So ako sa isolve daan kani. So we have 10,000, open parenthesis 1, 0.05 divided by 1, that is still 0.05. So 0.05 to the power of 1 times 3 is 3. 3 gihapon, ayan. Okay? Mano-mano na ko siya para, in case, if ever na may calculator nga scientific, pwede diretso, copy all the parentheses and all of the denominator, ang iyahang bar and everything, copy it. Walay ikuan nga i-missed out. Apil ang parentheses kay kung naa, pwede tendency masayo pang answer. So, ako na lang siya i-mano-mano. Kay kasagara, mag-mano-mano man. So, we have still here, this one, ako na lang i-add. So, we have 10,000. 1 plus 0.05, that's 1.05. And then, copy si power, that's 3. And then, again, kanina po siya, ako na siyang isolve. 1.05 to the power of 3. So, we have 10,000. 1.05 to the power of 3. The answer is 1.57 1.157 625. Kopyahatanan para sure. Okay, and then next, 10,000 times this one, again, parenthesis, nag-represent sa multiplication. So, 10,000 times 1 point something. The answer is 11,576.25. 2 decimal place lang din ta sa atong final answer. So, after 3 years, Maria will have 11,576.25 on her savings account. Another example in computing compound interest, we have here example number 2. Let's read this one. One borrows 75,000 from Tulay sa Pagunlad Incorporation to start a small business. The loan terms are an annual interest rate of 15%, compounded quarterly, and a loan term of 4 years. One wants to know how much she will owe at the end of the loan term. So we're going to use compound interest formula here since it's compounded. So if we're going to recall the formula given, we have A is equal to the principal times 1 plus R divide M to the power of MT. If we're going to write the values of each, principal there nag-represent given na as a problem, that is 75,000 pesos. R, which is the rate na as a problem gyapon, that's 15%. And 15%, if we're going to write that one in decimal form, that's 0.15. M there nag-represent sa compound niya. So we have here compounded quarterly. If we're going to recall unsa ang value ni quarterly nag-represent is 4. And the time, yearly basis, 4 years. So we have, again pag ang time monthly, don't forget to divide it by 12. Ay, may butang sa time. Since years man may problema. Butang 4. So, kompleto na ang atong value. I-input na nato sa formula. So, we have here amount. A is equal to, principal is 75,000 pesos. Open parenthesis, 1 plus R is 0.15 divide M na to is 4 to the power of MT. M is 4, T is still 4. Ato na to. Wait. Maklaro siya. We have MT, 4 times 4 man na. Again, ang parenthesis nag-represent sa multiplication. So we have here, atong manumanuhon, if dili scientific imong calculator para sure. Kung gusto ka idiretso, pwede ra, but make sure to do it hinay-hinay. Kaya basi na kayo na-miss out, nasayo pang answer. So now na ito solve, ang nasasulot ka ng 0.15 divide 4, copy si 75,000, copy si 1 plus 0.15 divided by 4, the answer is 0.0375. Okay, mo na siyang answer sa 0.15 divide 4. And then copy ang power niya, which is 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So let's continue. Atong isolve kanina sa sulod. 1 plus 0.0375. So copy si 75,000. 1 plus 0.0375 is, answer is 1.0375. Copy si power, which is 16. Alright, next one. Kani siya, ito isolve. 1.0375 to the power of 16. Tanawa sa calculator ha, kanang naay power dira butangag 16. Kaya kung manumanuhon niya siya, taas kayo. So, 75,000. 1.0375 to the power of 16. Answer ana is 1.802227,807 close parenthesis. Okay, kopyahon na siya tanan. Kana, again, parenthesis nag-represent sa multiplication. So, our final answer, 75,000 times 1.802227,807. Final answer is 135,167.2 decimal place at the end. 0.0855 man na siya, 09 na lang. So we have final answer. The amount at the end of the loan is 135,167.09. Another example here in computing compound interest, we have here James deposited 20,000 pesos in a bank that offers 6% annual interest compounded semi-annually. How much money will he have after 1 year and 6 months? So if we're going to recall the formula in computing compound interest, we have here, let's use color pink. Here, ayan. So formula, principal, open parenthesis, 1 plus R divide M to the power of M times T or time. If we're going to get the value of each, principal is 20,000 pesos. Rate is 6% here. 6% in decimal form is 0.06. M nagrepresent sa compounding amount, compounded semi-annually. If we're going to recall, semi-annually is 2. Okay? And then the time is 1 year and 6 months. 1 year and 6 months. Again, time is yearly basis. So if 1 year and 6 months, if ato siyang i-convert into months tanan, 1 year and 6 months is equivalent is 18 months. Tama? 18 months. Ang 1 year and 6 months is 18 months. So since months man siya, ato siyang i-divide sa 12. 18 divide 12 is 1.5. Tama ba? 18 divide 12 is 1.5. Ayan. So this is the value of our time. Kompleto na itong values. Again ha, nganong ang time na to 1.5. It's because ang 1 year and 6 months na may months tira, ato siya i-convert to yearly basis man ang time, 1 year and 6 months. So ato na siya i-convert into months tanan. 1 year and 6 months is 18 months. So 18 months divide 12 is 1.5. So using our formula, i-input lang ang mga values. We have 20,000 pesos times 1 plus R is 0.06 divide M is 2 to the power of MT. So 2 times 1.5. Okay, maklaro ba? That's 1.5. Okay? So again, mano-mano effect na to. Unahan na to solve ang 0.06 divided by 2. That is 0.03. So 20,000. Copy C1 plus 0.06 divided 2 is 0.03. Copy ang iyahang power. 2 times 1.5. 2 times 1.5 is equal to 3. So 3 ang ibabaw. Next one. Kanina sa nga ito isolve. Ang nasulod sa parentheses, 20,000 pesos. 1 plus 0.03 is 1.03. Copy ang power sa ibabaw. Next one. Ang ito isolve kanina sa. Ayan. So 1.03 to the power of 3. Copy 20,000. 1.03. Ito siya 1.03 to the power of 3. 1.03 to the power of 3, according to calculator, that is 1.092727. Okay? And then last one, we have here, multiply na to ang 20,000 times this. 20,000 pesos times 1.092727. The final answer is 21,854 to decimal place, that is 54. So, after 1 year and 6 months, James will have 21,854.54. So that's our final answer.
Sorry, it's DJ.